When a young woman is abducted from her fancy Swiss boarding school, it sets off a series of international events that includes the United States, Russia, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and the murder of a journalist. Sound familiar? We're actually describing The New Girl. It's Daniel Silva's 19th novel featuring Israeli spy master Gabriel Allon. And fair warning, this ripped from the headlines thriller has a shocking ending. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
19th novel. Wow. You are prolific.
I am. I have been publishing a book a year since my early 30s. People ask me, how do you do it? And my short answer is I don't do anything else other than write and try to spend as much time with my children as possible. But it's a labor of love. I love writing. I'm one of those people who can't not write. And that's very fortunate.
Well, it's fortunate for all of us because the books are always fantastic. Here's the thing. We say this every time. Your stories are ripped from the headlines. Sure. But this time, as I understand it at least, the headlines actually forced you to scrap the bulk of the book and start over?
I had to start over in October. I lost 2.5 months of the writing year. I wanted to write a book about like a character like Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia, this man who was promising to bring remarkable change to Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. I've been thinking about featuring him in a novel for some time, and this special relationship that he has formed with Israel. And I started working on the book, and in early October, saw the little tiny item on the internet that Jamal Khashoggi, the contributing columnist from the Washington Post, was missing. A few days later, we learned that he had been murdered inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, and a few days later, we learned that MBS had probably given the order for that. I had to completely start over.
MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. How much is he like the main character in your book?
Well, there are obvious similarities. Okay. They're both the young Crown Princes of Saudi Arabia, but my character is very, very different from Mohammed bin Salman. I want to say that at the outset. He's a much more redeemable character. He's educated at Oxford. He speaks the King's English, British accented English. He's a much different character. But clearly, as I say in the foreword of the novel, they share similarities, and the story that you're going to read in The New Girl is inspired by events surrounding Khashoggi's murder.
What does Daniel Silva read when he's not writing?
Daniel Silva has to do a tremendous amount of research for each of his books. As you might have guessed, I'm somewhat of a nerdish character, not as cool as you are. I spend all day with either writing a book or reading a book. That's the best way to describe it.
So no beach reads, no mindless thumb turning?
I have a couple of beach read authors that I really like, but I do so much heavy lifting for each novel that I really spend a lot of time reading pretty serious stuff. And I'm a commercial writer, but in many respects, I'm a literary novelist masquerading as a thriller writer, and I read a lot of good literature as well.
Do you ever fantasize about leading the kind of operation that Gabriel does?
I would be the worst person in the world to be a part of that. I'm not one of these guys that thinks of myself as my character. I could never do the kinds of things that he does. And there's just simply no way that I would want to be a part of you. I'm the last person that you want around an operation.
Why?
Because I would sort of be the Woody Allen of the operation. I don't like to fly. I don't like hotel rooms. I'm a germaphobe. You don't want me around any kind of secret operation.
No, you should probably stick to writing.
I should.
Daniel Silva,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Again, the book is called The New Girl, and you can find more on it at today.com/shop.